Alright, you already read the title, so without further ado, let's get right into the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. There are a couple reasons why this is your favorite. Maybe you grew up with these games, maybe you got hooked on these games back when Mega Man 9 was released on the Wii. But regardless, these games have been your undeniable favorites for a long time. You don't care that there are games in the series with better graphics, better mechanics, or a better story. You like this game because the classic series is purely platforming. It's a pure test of skill and resilience. How many times can you die to the same boss over and over again, but keep getting back up? That's what matters to you. Not cheap gimmicks or needless grinding. You enjoy a good challenge and old school graphics. Also, it probably goes without saying, but you're probably a huge fan of Shovel Knight as well. This is what I like to think as the older brother of the series, like the cool teenager who guides the young series through the trials and tribulations of adolescent life. Or something like that, I don't know, I kind of lost the metaphor entirely. Anyway, it's pretty obvious why you like Mega Man X. The games are absolutely stellar. With crisp graphics that go from 16 to 32-bit, the series just feels like a natural progression of the classic series. I imagine that many of the fans of the series probably grew up with the classic series, but once the SNES came out, they were probably a bit older, so they branched out and found a game that matched their maturing interests. Regardless of this, the series is fun for all ages. It's got fun Easter eggs like having multiple characters who are named after AC/DC, like, for example, Axel. For some of you, the X series is the definitive Mega Man experience, and it's pretty clear why. The games are like no other, and besides the last couple mainline games, the series has withstood this test of time very well. And there's probably a good reason why the X Legacy Collection has sold over 1 million copies as of recording this. You definitely grew up with Pokemon, right? Am I right? You probably didn't know about the Mega Man series until the first Battle Network game came out on the DS. But since it came out, you haven't been able to put it down since. Maybe you never got the hang of the typical platforming of the main series, but you still enjoyed the concept of Mega Man. The RPG style has always captivated you more, and being able to play the game on the go with systems like the Game Boy Advance, the DS, the Wii U, and now the Switch has just been a godsend for you fans. Like many others, you probably watched the anime religiously, no matter how weird it got. You know, kind of like the fans of Yokai Watch. I will say that you Battle Network fans are absolutely insane. In a good way, though. You guys are the sole reason why the Battle Network Legacy Collection has become one of the highest selling Mega Man games of all time. Also, you take pride in being able to play as one of the strongest versions of Mega Man in the entire series as a whole. Right next to the Archie comics, of course. I don't even like power scaling, but I can admit that's pretty cool. Come in, come in. Star Force fans, do you copy? No? Well, I guess that tracks. Not even Capcom really cares about you guys anymore. The last Star Force game that was released was back in 2009. And it only got about 24,000 copies sold internationally. So it's safe to say that you guys are definitely troopers. Just desperately holding out for the day that Capcom throws you a bone and releases another Legacy Collection. But as of right now, you're clinging to your old DS and hoping that it can hang on for another few years before you have to go on Amazon and buy a renewed one. With some games in this series going as high as $150 on sites like eBay, this is definitely the least accessible series on the market. But even so, you're proud to call yourself a fan. But seriously, Capcom, just throw them a bone. They've been waiting for like 20 years. Come on. Much like Star Force fans, fans of the Legends series are absolute troopers. With only 3 games to their name, all of them on consoles that were well into their 30s now, still the Legends fans hold together strongly. They take pride in their unique character interactions, humor, and being the only fully 3D game in the entire franchise. This sub-series might be a little jank, but the fans keep it alive. They've got a will of iron, and I respect the hell out of them for it. now. Being another one of the early 2000s Mega Man spin-offs, the Mega Man Zero series was kicked off back in 2002, long before I was born. But it's easily become mine and many others' favorites throughout the entire series. What appealed to you, though? For the first time ever, a Mega Man series had a decent plot? No? Maybe it was the grinding mechanics that got you hooked? Not that either? Who am I kidding? The whole reason you play this game is because you got hooked off playing as Zero back on the X series. And now you get to experience that all over again with a fresh coat of paint. Also, you think that Zero's Z-Saber has a home right next to such iconic weapons in the gaming world like the Buster Sword, the Master Sword, the Energy Sword, and the Keyblade. Geez, there are a lot of swords on this list. After the ending of the Mega Man Zero series, this duo of games came out to fill the void of Mega Man games. Fans of this series have been eating well. It's crazy to think that the ZX series has only gotten 2 games and has still been included on a recent Legacy collection, while Star Force still hasn't been mentioned in years. Anyways, fans of the ZX series are probably a bit more of fans of games like Metroid than traditional platforms, because this series is nicknamed Mega Metroidvania. Bit of a mouthful, if I do say so myself. This is because it takes inspiration from franchises like Castlevania and Metroid respectively. That's kind of obvious. I will say, fans of this series are usually pretty chill, and frankly, they're some of my favorite members of the Mega Man community. In conclusion, this franchise may be very niche and in some cases nigh inaccessible. But one thing we can all agree on is that the secret level episode focusing on Mega Man was absolutely awesome. And all the references to classic rock and roll are absolutely sick. Things like AC/DC Town, Japan's name of Mega Man being Rock, and his sister being Roll, and of course there's Axel. This is something that all of us can come back to. Except for the Star Force series, because I haven't played any of the games, I can't say if there are any references yet. This game series is literally my favorite of all time, so hopefully this gets out there so more people can go and check it out. And Capcom can finally get off their butt and make a new game. Thank you all for watching. This whole video was kind of just an excuse for me to gush about my favorite series. So if you like this video, please subscribe. I'm a small channel trying to grow, so it'll help me out a ton, and thank you in advance. I hope you all have a great day and that I see you in the next one. Goodbye.